A high-speed chase ensued on Interstates 5 and 105. Across several counties, an hour-long standoff occurred near Los Angeles International Airport.
Into the LAX area, I thought I was, right there, and doors are open, but where's he going to run to? What's that all? If he jumps over that thing, where's he going to go? No, he's not going to jump. Yep. Oh, come on, dude. You can't. Where are you going to go? Coming across.
The chase began in San Diego and then extended through Orange and Los Angeles counties. The vehicle, a dark-colored Nissan Altima, was wanted for reckless driving. Thursday afternoon, October 20th, 2022. Eventually, the suspect veered off the freeway in Westchester, near Los Angeles International Airport, weaving between vehicles. Officers attempted a traffic stop on West Imperial Street, but the suspect vehicle fled. The suspect then continued on Century Street and World Avenue, entering the airport area. Officers attempted another traffic stop and successfully disabled the suspect vehicle. From there, the suspect exited the vehicle and ran a few feet toward the edge of the bridge.
That's going to be the California Highway Patrol still behind it. The traffic on the 105 seems to be slowing down a lot, and this vehicle not slowing down at all, making a lot of these weaving and bobbing types of moves, getting very close to a couple cars, hasn't swapped any paint as far as we can tell. California Highway Patrol, well, these guys, they've got the lights and sirens. They'll get the traffic out of the way. This person right here, he's basically just making his way, pushing his way between there. You saw at least two very close calls as he basically threaded the needle, as it would be, making those high-speed maneuvers here on the 105 freeway. Marley, you're 1,000% correct. I'm always so worried about the folks that are just driving on the road, and then this vehicle comes up at 80, 90 miles an hour, maybe even 100. Right now, though, the speeds, they seem to be kind of wobbling back and forth, making me wonder if this driver has a plan. Possibly. They were on the 5 freeway for the longest time, and then basically moved off onto the 91, and then onto the 605, and now onto the 105. So this person might know these freeways. They might have a destination in mind. San Diego, that's not a county that we usually hear these pursuits coming from. This has been going on for quite some time. They actually had an airplane, a California Highway Patrol airplane over it for a while, keeping an eye on it. That basically peeled off in the Orange County area. Right now, though, this vehicle, you can see it using all lanes. Any opportunity, anything that's open, that car is going to use it. California Highway Patrol, they're right there behind it. We are coming up on some interchange. There's some other freeways, some other choices, but right now seems like we're way off to the left, so it's going to stay here. But you know, we've seen these drivers in the past. When they see that opportunity, they'll just zip across all those lanes. Again, not sure why this driver's doing that. Is that just an intimidation factor? Is he driving crazy, hoping that the law enforcement might back off? Because there's no reason for him to get so close to these other cars, but apparently he is on almost every opportunity. Right now, though, you can see it. Speeds have slowed down just a little bit. There is traffic on the 105 today, and right now this car, he's hanging out the window. Maybe we can get onto the other side. We're going to try to move Skyfox over onto the driver's side, but showing his hands out the window there, and again, little slower speeds, but still, this is something nobody wants to see. Law enforcement, especially when these drivers start acting so reckless that and blazing that they're making these weird maneuvers on the freeway. Right there, I believe that's going to be the 110 that we're passing. So this car moving very, very quickly. We're going to run out of freeway here pretty soon if he doesn't get onto the 405. That's true. You never know who else is in that vehicle. So many times in the past, I thought just that driver. How else could it be? But then in the end, we'll see 3 or 4 other folks get out of it. In this case, right now, the driver's window goes down, goes up. So this driver, and apparently, I'm not sure what that deal was. Looks like the driver might actually be a little bit agitated. It's kind of misleading when you see those numbers, 93 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour here, and you just kind of see him passing slowly past these other cars. That's a little bit of a misnomer. That is pretty correct right there. I hear the California Highway Patrol calling out those speeds as well. Right now, though, we're going to start getting into the LAX area. I personally, just because I just don't want to make this pursuit more difficult than it is, when he gets in the LAX, we've been there in the past. They might not let Skyfox into their airspace, so we might have to move around or make some kind of maneuvers. Right now, though, we seem to be established on the 105. The 405 coming up. He is from San Diego. Perhaps he'll make his turn to the south, try to get back that way. But again, he came out of the San Diego area. We're up here in the Los Angeles area. Law enforcement is law enforcement. But there you go. This is what we were talking about. Just because he was way over there doesn't mean he's going to stay there. Making this hard move there. Looks like he could be getting off the freeway, or he could be transitioning onto the 405. And back over. A lot of traffic. Wedged. Yep. Yeah. Yep. It definitely, Marlene. You know what? You bring up time, and you brought up that distance of a couple hundred miles. If this vehicle had a full tank, what do you got on a Nissan like that? Probably about 200, 300 miles, and that's if you were completely full. So this person probably starting to think, man, you know what? Maybe I'm starting to run a little low on gas. And we've seen so many of them come to an end like that. Just the car kind of giving up before the driver. Right now, though, Dylan moving Skyfox in a way where we can get a little bit of a better look at this driver. And this is the first time that we are able to actually kind of peek in there. We can definitely see his hands there, and it seems like he's right now very relaxed. Earlier on, we saw 2 hands out of that window. So you just got to kind of wonder, this person very lackadaisical about safety. That's the only thing we can say. 80 miles an hour on the 105. You know what? Between you and I and everybody else listening, who hasn't done that in the past? But you know what? This person is running from law enforcement. This has been going on for quite some time. So right now, the problem is they just want to bring this to an end safely. How they're going to do it? Well, right now the plan is just to stay behind it, warn the public, give everybody heads up that this is going on. But they might be having something else up their sleeve. And I can tell you, if this does get off the freeway and those speeds are right, we might be able to see a pit maneuver. Yep. But yep, right about 35. Yeah, right about 35. We've seen it a little bit faster. But, of course, like I say 1,000 times, law enforcement always has safety in mind, safety first, even safety of that suspect. Speeds you can see are really, really slowing down right there. Looks like we're getting into the LAX area. There was some, looks like a stalled vehicle, and the car just kind of, looks like he's going to make his way, trying to make his way off the freeway here. I believe, I can read it right there. I'm sorry. This is Sepulveda. Now, if he does keep going and he gets underneath that LAX, underneath the runway, there's a lot that can go on. But this reckless driving, this is almost showboating. It's like almost daring the officers. And this is something nobody wants to see because, you know what, before great, what is it, a fall comes after great pride or something like that. But you know what, this is nothing to be prideful about. Driving recklessly, possibly hurting somebody, that is not the right thing, and we never want to see anybody hurt. Making his way, there we go. This is what we were talking about. He is close enough, but this driver, so erratic, almost basically daring that officer to do that pit maneuver. Yeah. Move a little, move a little, move a little. I don't know. West, so he's under us? Oh, there he is. You know, in the end, they. Yep. This is just this is. He is definitely alone in that vehicle. I'm got to work with Dylan and Skyfox. He's driving recklessly like this, basically, like you said, cat and mouse, just taunting these officers, doing what he can to make it more difficult, and maybe just a little bit of showboating here. But in the end, you know, hopefully it ends in a way where he's just going into custody. Looks like he's taking off some clothes right there. Yeah, it looks like he took off his sweatshirt, and now he's like looking out the window again. Definitely taunting these officers. I'm going to keep an eye on it, making that turn right now onto Sepulveda Boulevard, which is going to take us into a lot of traffic, especially if he's going to be making his way over to LAX. This is going to be one of those ones where our pilot Dylan is going to have to climb up. We're going to have to listen on the scanner. We might lose him underneath that tunnel, which I'm pretty sure we will. Hopefully it doesn't come to an end there. I mean, I want it to come to an end safely anywhere, but we don't want to not be able to see it. That is for sure. Right now, though, this driver now kind of just doing that round robin, weaving back and forth, bobbing back and forth, going into that tunnel. We're going to have to wait and see if he comes out the other side. I'm going to have to listen on the scanner as well, and we're going to have to figure out how we're going to get over to the other side safely with LAX Tower. No, it's not. It's not. Yep. There he is. Yep. Try that. You know, that officer right there has had a couple of times where he's really trying to just get that pit maneuver. I'll tell you that right now, my pilot Dylan working LAX. They've got air rules out here as well. We have to climb up to like 2,000 feet to cross. So we're doing that right now. So it's like a little bit of an elevator ride, but we're keeping an eye on it. That cruiser right there looks like they're going to try to do another pit. Ooh. So close, and I was worried about that officer right there. They're on those transition roads that are going to take us into the LAX area. I thought I was, right there, right there. And doors are open, but where's he going to run to? What's that all? If he jumps over that thing, where's he going to go? Yeah, no, he's not going to jump. Yep.
The suspect appeared to be looking for any means of escape. The officers refused to surrender and engaged them in an hour-long standoff.
Oh, come on, dude. You can't. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? No, no. And again, you can see him, you know, basically, again, taunting these officers in a way. I saw his cell phone out earlier on. Maybe he was doing something live with this. But these officers, you can see the less than lethal right there, that orange gun that one CHP officer, enough to see underneath the bridge here. I want to see the airbag. Maybe it can come back down lower. See that airbag pretty clearly right there. I might take a chance real quick so you guys can understand what is going on. You can see that suspect. You can see that airbag placed right there. If that suspect decides to move, those firefighters will move that airbag so fast. It's It's pretty impressive. They'll basically go out there and they'll move it. And I said it earlier on, if you were watching live, a lot of times the negotiators will, and it sounds so silly, basically say, hey, buddy, you want a soda? You want some water? You hungry? And that's what they're doing right there. They're placing some water and possibly something else right there. So if that suspect makes that attempt to go grab that water, they will tackle him, and so that they can take him into custody safely. But right now, that airbag is right underneath him. If he should fall, if he should willingly let himself go over the edge, he's going to land in that airbag. That airbag's going to deflate. He's going to be fine, and they're going to take him into custody. They did stop him before he made his way into the LAX area, for good or for bad. And everybody has an opinion. There's a lot of folks will be like, oh, they're messing up everybody's flight. Well, it could have been a lot worse. You know, we don't know how this could have gone. He could have made his way into that hole, into the LAX terminals themselves. Not get out and run, but he might have hit somebody. There's a lot of pedestrian traffic over there. It's very hectic. Anybody that's been to any airport knows that. So the officer made that decision and pitted him before he made his way into the actual LAX terminals.
Officers attempted to remove him from the ledge. Hostage negotiators were called to the scene. Firefighters arrived and placed an airbag on the ground in case the suspect jumped. The suspect was taken into custody at approximately 2:40 p.m. The suspect was placed in an ambulance during the chase after an hour-long standoff outside Los Angeles International Airport.